If you are an African immigrant woman making six figures, but somehow you feel financially behind, overwhelmed, disconnected, trapped in this survival mode, you look very successful, but somehow you feel a disconnect. This video is for you. You are about to write the exact same financial goals you've written in the last 5 years. Vision boards, New Year resolutions, all 9 yards. I know this because I used to do this. And by the third week of January, we are right back to survival mode. Same patterns, same results, same story. Now, here is the truth. If information could solve your money problems, you would be financially free by now. No amount of coffee cutting, savings challenge, budgeting apps, or goal settings will move you out of survival mode and put you in financial freedom if your foundation is broken. You are building on a foundation of sand, so it keeps collapsing and you keep starting over every single year. This is why you're stuck in hustle mode with no real progress. So, welcome to day two of our 45-day money moves. For the next 45 days, I am walking you through the exact same steps that I used to go from broke and unemployed to building a seven-figure net worth in just 6 to 7 years. One action every day. This whole series will build your complete financial foundation where you are spiritually aligned, financially free, emotionally grounded, and finally in control of your money. Yesterday was our day one. We calculated your starting line number. The link to that financial planner is in the description. It's a free financial planner for you. So today we're going a lot deeper. Today you're answering the question you've been avoiding. Why do I keep ending up here? Why do I keep restarting every single year? Because here is what I know about you. You work harder than most people. You sacrifice more. You show up more. You do all the right things. So why, after all these years and after all this work, all the sacrifice, you are still struggling with money, trapped in survival mode, running on a financial treadmill, yet arriving at the same place you started every time? The answer is not in your bank account. It is in your story. The story you inherited, the story that you've been living this whole time, the story you're about to pass on to your daughters if you don't rewrite that story today. So your money identity was programmed before you even turned 10. And until you rewrite that, you will carry the same patterns straight into 2026. No matter how much you work or how high your income goes, you always have a high income but low net worth. So if you are done repeating the same cycle year in and year out, let's get started. Let me tell you about the invisible prison that we all have. This is a belief that you don't even know that you have. It's running in the background and it controls every single thing that we do. We all have those invisible prisons. They were built by our parents, our environment, our culture, all the experiences you had in your childhood. And right now, whether you know it or not, you're still spending money based on the rules your body wrote when you were just a child. Here's the part that will blow your mind. You cannot earn more than your nervous system believes is safe. So we all grew up in an environment where a certain amount of money was very normal. Let's say $5,000 a month. It will be very difficult to break into a 30K month because your nervous system recorded what you saw as normal, as a baseline. Anything beyond that, your brain will flag it as a threat because there is no record of it. The brain gives us permission based on prediction. If it cannot predict your safety, it will force you to sabotage yourself so you can return to what it knows as normal, what it recorded as normal. So let me show you what this looked like in my life. When I first started business, I hit a 60K month within the first 7 months of me starting that business without any prior business experience. My body freaked out. I was panicking, my heart racing. It literally felt like the police was going to break into my house and arrest me. Because growing up, I had always heard that it took at least 5 years to be profitable in any business, and money comes slow with a lot of struggle. So when my money came fast and easy, it didn't match the records in the database when the brain looked at it. And what does the brain do when anything doesn't match? It flags it as a threat. So I began to sabotage so badly. I stopped running ads. I stopped responding to customers. I said, oh, I need a break right when things were growing. And my income dropped from 60K months right back to about 15K months. Not because the opportunities disappeared, but because my identity pulled me right back to what was normal for my baseline, what was normal for my brain. And I'm not the only one that does this. Working with a lot of immigrant women, I see a lot of women do this. We don't apply for jobs that offer way more money because we think we're not qualified. We count ourselves out before we even try. And we always accept the first offer without negotiating. We also wait till we're overqualified before we apply for anything. Because anything outside the nervous system's baseline is flagged as a threat. Your brain is wired for survival, not for your financial freedom, not for financial peace, not for anything but survival. Scenario number two, toxic generosity. You watch your mother give her last money. You watch her send money to the same uncle 50 times. No questions, no plan, no accountability. Just, we have to help him because he's family. You watch a lot of women around you give and give and give and kept nothing for themselves. So your nervous system quietly wrote the rule. Good women empty themselves, and keeping anything for yourself is selfish. And what happens now? 30 years later, 40 years later, you're making six figures and you can't say no to financial requests. Not because you don't want to, but because your 8-year-old self learned that saying no equals being a bad person. That program is still running. That's the invisible prison I'm talking about. Invisible prison number three. You only got praised for perfect performance. When you took first in class, you are a great child. Your parents would celebrate you. Everyone around you celebrate you. If you get second place, nope, you get criticized. Why didn't you take first? What happened to the person that took first? So your body learned 100% success or nothing at all. If I'm not sure I'll win, I shouldn't even try. Now, this programming blocks opportunities. You could be swimming in gold, but still struggling financially because you cannot see the opportunities. Because there is no 100% guarantee that you will succeed when you take those opportunities on. Other people can come and see the gold and benefit from the gold around you. So, number four, growing up around scarcity and lack. You are in America, a land with the most opportunities. But every time you think about investing, your brain doesn't see opportunity. It sees, what if I lose all my money? What if this is a scam? This happens to me a lot. If you grew up around scarcity, around lack, a lot of struggle, even if it wasn't directly tied to your family, but the environment, you saw a lot of that, your body wrote one rule: there is not enough, so you have to hold on tight. So what does that do for you? You hoard cash in savings account earning 0.01% because you're terrified to invest. You assume everything is a scam because you saw real scams growing up. You need 100% guarantee before you make any financial move. But there is no 100% guarantee when it comes to building financial freedom. You're going to have to take some risk. But because you grew up around where you saw a lot of scams and where you saw scarcity and lack, you are so afraid to even let any money go into investment. It sits there in your savings account, making the most minimal interest rate while you keep working and struggling. The bank is using your money, loaning it out at 22% and giving you 0.01% interest. The lack of rest that you saw around with a lot of women growing up is holding you back now. You work 60 hours a week, you're exhausted. You know you need to slow down, but you cannot. Why? Because when you were growing up, all those women working around you nonstop, your nervous system learned that rest equals laziness, that stopping and taking a break equals failure, that your worth is tied to how much work you do. So now you're burnt out, your body is breaking, your marriage is suffering, your children haven't spent quality time with you in years. You miss out on their precious childhood that is once in a lifetime because you cannot stop working. You take pride in telling people how many hours you work. Oh, I worked 80 hours last week. Oh, I'm always hustling. It's such a prideful thing for you because stopping feels like failure. That's the invisible prison that is holding you back. That's why you're working a lot, making a lot of money, but losing all of it and not even feeling satisfied or fulfilled. It always feels like something is missing, always feels like you are behind. So here is the thing. These are not your beliefs. You inherited them. Your parents gave them to you. their parents gave those beliefs to them. And if you don't face them today, you will give them to your daughter. So 20 years from now, she'll be sitting exactly where you are, making a lot of money, making good money, working herself to death, unable to say no, unable to rest, unable to be free. So what is the solution to rewriting your identity? This is where transformation happens. So I want you to pause this video and grab a pen and paper, because we're doing this right now. This is a part of your financial planning, setting the baseline, setting the foundation, the system, the structure that we actually need to have a better 2026, not just goals and vision board. Those things don't work if you don't have the foundation right. Step one, let us expose your current money identity. So I'm going to ask you a few questions and you're going to write the answer. No filter, just write them. When I say money, what comes up for you? What comes to your mind when you hear the word money? Sometimes you're thinking about someone you can feel or see or remember, someone crying over school fees, your parents arguing, your mom whispering, we can't afford it, money doesn't grow on trees, you love money too much. I've heard a lot of that. You love money too much. When someone says money, or when I say money right now, what comes up for you? Is it bills? Is it panic? Is it fear, anger, not enough, guilt for wanting more, people calling and asking for money? Write everything that comes up down, because you want to expose those invisible prison that have been holding you back, the script that has been running in your life. Write them down, because we're about to expose it and rewrite the programming. And do me a favor, share in the comment section some of the things that came up for you. This is our community working together, helping each other out. Let's share our experiences. Step two, write down, what did my parents teach me about money? Don't stop writing and don't judge as these things are coming up. Just keep writing everything that comes up. And I'm going to give you some prompts to help you out. What did your mother say about money? What did your father do with money? If you need to pause the video and write these things out, do that. What do you feel when money was discussed in your home? Think about those feelings that came up. How was it? What did you learn about rich people? What did you learn about poor people? What did you learn about asking for help or about saying no? Write everything out, even the ugly part. In fact, especially the ugly part, because these are the invisible prison keeping you from your financial freedom. So here are the examples some of my clients wrote. What they heard: money is the root of all evil. We don't talk about money, it's shameful. Rich people are greedy and they forget where they came from. You have to work yourself to death to survive. Family always comes first, even if you have nothing left. Asking for help means that you have failed. Good daughters always sacrifice everything. These are some of the things that they wrote. Please share some of your responses in the comment section. I would love to read them. If this part feels heavy for you, that's very normal. Most African immigrant women carry money stories that were never theirs to begin with, and this has kept them stuck for years. If you want someone to walk through this with you, I am opening a few free calls this week. I have nothing to sell to you, just support, direction, and a safe space to process what's coming up. This is exactly what I had wished for when I was doing my financial reset. I had wished that I had someone that I could call that had already walked that path, that I could call and talk to. The link is in the description if you need it. Step three, write down, what am I repeating from my parents? Go back and read all the things that you wrote down and ask yourself, which of these beliefs are showing up in my life today? Be very specific and give examples, because the more you really pour this thing out, the more you can see the patterns. Some of the prompts I'm going to give you: do I avoid looking at my bank account like my mother did? Do I work myself to exhaustion just like my father did? Do I say yes to every family request, even when I cannot afford it? Do I feel guilty spending money on myself? I am personally still working through this one. Write all of it out and now read what you wrote, because this is the cycle. This is what you're passing on to your daughters if you don't break it. This is your money identity, why you get the same result every year, in spite of your degrees, in spite of your promotions, in spite of the high income and the hard work. You can't seem to make the money work for you. You are constantly on the hamster wheel, the financial treadmill, running yet arriving at nowhere. Now let's take the power back and rewrite that programming. What do you want to believe about money instead? What story do you want to tell your daughter to inherit? I'm going to give you some prompts. Here are the prompts. If I could rewrite everything I learned, what would I teach my children? What would I teach my daughter? What do I want to believe about myself and money? What do I want to feel when I look at my bank account? If you need to pause the video and write these things down, and I'm also going to attach a template with all of these questions so you can actually make it a workshop and just write the things out. What kind of woman do I want to be with money? What do I want to feel when I look at my bank account? How do I want to feel? How do you want to manage your money? How do you want to steward the money? Because at the end of the day, that money is really not ours. Everything that we have is from God. God gave them to us to steward it, like the parable of the 5 talents, the guy that was given the 5 talents. We want to manage it like that so that we can be able to build more. This is your new story. So write it like you mean it. And I'm going to give you examples that my clients have written. For example, number one, I want to believe that I can love my family and build my future, both, not either or. I want my daughter to see a mother who is grounded, relaxed, joyful, peaceful, and in control, not a mother who works herself to death. Another thing is that you can write, I want to believe that saying no doesn't make me wicked, it makes me wise. Some of the women that I work with wrote, I want to feel peace when I look at my money, not panic. I want to be a woman who breaks the cycle, not the woman who repeats it. I want my daughter to inherit freedom, not guilt. Just everything that comes, pour it all out because you are rewriting the programming. Now, based on what you wrote, you can create your rewiring statement. For me, when I sabotaged my 60K month, what I did was to begin to rewire by saying that I am safe with millions of dollars. I feel safe. When I say that, I breathe and I relax, literally. You have to get into the feeling of safety, good posture, relax. Tell your body that you are safe. Feel safe. Breathe through it. I still do that every single day up till now. At first, you still feel the panic and the anxiety, and your brain might reject it because it checks the database and it doesn't see that. You just have to keep breathing slowly and keep rewiring and rewiring and rewiring. You have to keep practicing that feeling of safety. 5 minutes, just disconnect your mind from all the worries and all the concerns and bring your mind back into your body and just do deep breathing. Slow down and breathe while you tell yourself that it is safe. It is safe to handle a lot of money. It is safe to be a millionaire. It is safe to have access to millions of dollars, because if you don't feel safe, your body would create all of these things just to get your money away from you because it's not safe. If your body doesn't feel safe with holding and growing $1 million, you would always find yourself giving the money away, losing the money, hoarding it in a savings account that gives you 0.01%. You will not be able to grow the wealth, to manage the money, to control it, to steward it the way God wants you to. So you have to feel safe. You have to rewrite and record it in your nervous system that you were safe, that this is your new baseline. Growing money is your new baseline. A multi-million dollar net worth is your new baseline. For me, this is the exact step I took to rewire, stop the self-sabotage, and grow my wealth to financial freedom, where my money works harder than I do, support my family and friends without resentment and guilt, and work because I enjoy it, not because I need to. Ability to spend quality time with my family, take spontaneous vacations without worrying or overthinking it. The option to have incredible experiences of peace, joy, happiness, and love. So take everything that you wrote and reframe them for your new money story. For example, if you wrote money always leaves, reframe that to money flows to me and through me in abundance. If you wrote I'm scared to invest, rewrite it, I make wise investment from peace, not from panic. If you wrote, I feel guilty keeping money, rewrite it or reframe it by saying, keeping money for my future is wisdom and not selfishness. Then tie your new money story to a daily habit like brushing your teeth, like bathroom breaks. Say this out loud every time for this 45 days that we're working through this. Breathe through and really see this new identity. I still do this every day, and each time I take a bathroom break, I do this. I tie mine to bathroom breaks, and mine is I am safe with millions of dollars. Money flows to me effortlessly without me suffering. I am at peace with wealth, and I tie this to every time I go take a pee. Within weeks, when I was sabotaging at that 60K month and I reframed and did this, within weeks, my sales went right back up. Not because I worked harder, but because my identity shifted. The final step is that when you release money, release it with gratitude, with a cheerful heart, with joy, knowing that it goes into circulation, it helps other people, and it comes back to you more. So anytime you feel angry or resentment, do not give, because you are teaching your brain that when money leaves, it is danger. So now, 40 years of programming will not change overnight. You have to literally practice this as often as possible. Now, here is why this matters beyond you. This is beyond budgeting, saving, cutting out coffee. You can't save your way to financial freedom or cut enough coffee to get you to financial freedom. If you stop giving to your family right now, but you haven't fixed these underlying problems, something else will still come up and leak your money away. There are over 3 million African immigrant women in America making six figures, and most of them are trapped in this survival cycle. If we don't break this cycle, our daughters will inherit it. They'll have high income and still feel financially behind. They'll send money out of guilt and they'll sacrifice themselves. That is the real enemy, the generational cycle that traps our children if we don't break it now. So when you rewrite your money story today, you're not just doing it for you. You're doing it for your children. You're doing it for all the other women that you will teach this to. Here is what I know is about to happen. Right now, you are so pumped up and motivated. But on day 8, when nothing has changed yet, you will want to quit. And on day 15, when family calls for money, that old guilt will show up. And on day 22, when you see an investment opportunity, that everything is a scam voice would get way louder, and that will block you from that opportunity. So if you're doing this alone, you will fold. Let me give you what I wish someone gave me when I started my financial journey. I'm offering a few spots this week for a 30-minute money identity accountability call. On that call, we will strengthen your rewiring statement so it actually hits your nervous system. I will show you the 3 moments your old identity will attack you and what to say to get right back on track. And that's it. 30 minutes. I have nothing to sell to you, and the link is in the description. Comment below day 2 done. Let me see how many of you got to this point. Tomorrow is day 3. You don't want to miss it because we are tracking your last 3 months. And it's not about budgeting. It's about finding the leaks that is stealing your peace, exposing money you didn't realize you were wasting, and seeing why your high income still feels like a struggle. Tomorrow gives you something you haven't had in years: clarity. Clarity is what turns anxiety into calm. Clarity is what turns survival mode into strategies. Now that we're done with the money story, we want to move more into the strategy, the systems, the structures, the American financial system that we had no idea about. Clarity is what builds your net worth, not your high income. So if you want that version of yourself, tomorrow is non-negotiable. Don't forget to subscribe and share with one woman so that we can build a better 2026 together. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on day 3.